Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vishanti Shanti Shanti. We'll chant Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verses 11 to 15.
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः काङ्क्षन्तः कर्मणां सिद्धिं यजन्त इह देवताः क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्मविभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्यकर्तारमव्ययम् न मां कर्माणि लिम्पन्ति न मे कर्मफले स्पृहा इति मां योऽभिजानाति कर्मभिर्न स बध्यते एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वतरं कृतम्.
In this chapter 4 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, entitled as Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, we have seen so far 13 shlokas. So, from verse number 11 till verse number 18, the discussion is about the self and its relationship with action. How do self relate with action? How self relates to action? That's the topic. So, he said how this whole universe has come about in the beginning and how avatara happens, how Ishvara controls Maya and Maya is subservient to Ishvara, and how we jivas are all controlled by Maya. All that he explained. Knowing all this, gaining this knowledge, and living according to that knowledge, we get liberated. We become free from fear and all its desire and its modifications. We get absolutely liberated. All that he explained. Even though knowledge can give us liberation, not everybody seeks knowledge. Why? He says, because everybody is made up of different gunas. The three gunas are there in everyone: the sattva, rajas, and tamas. All the three gunas are there in everyone. So, each one will act according to their gunas. And they will therefore seek the objects according to their gunas. And also getting the result in the worldly activities are relatively easy. Kshipram himanushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. It is relatively easy. instantaneous. Who is here interested in exhausting the vasanas and getting liberated and all that? I have a desire, I act, I get my result. So therefore, many go towards objects and beings of the world. Very rarely a person seeks moksha. And we need to get more clarity about this action, because without that clarity, we do actions that bind us, or we withdraw from action which also binds us. We therefore need to gain proper knowledge about action, and then we move towards the highest possibility, which is liberation, because as human beings, we have the capacity to become free, to be free. But we are bound today. So therefore, he says, this is the reason why people don't get into moksha, because they want result. Now, when they want result in the world, they may get the result when they act desired. But along with it, they are getting bound. They're creating more vasanas. So they don't become free. When you desire for any object or being, you want to fulfill your desires and achieve happiness and continue to be happy forever. You want to achieve that freedom forever. You think by getting that bicycle, I will become happy and free. And you work for it. And relatively, it's easy to get the bicycle compared to moksha, no doubt. And when you get the bicycle, what was your intention? You thought by getting the bicycle, you will become more happy and free. You become happy and free. You get temporary happiness, and agitation starts again because now you want motorcycle. You don't become free. You get more bound. This is because you are not understanding what is action, what is the relationship between the self and action. When we say what is the relationship between the self and action, what it means is what is the relationship between you and action. So either people think I do action, I get caught. So I better avoid action and I'll become free. That also doesn't happen. Because since there are desires within, if you withdraw from action, mentally you're going to be thinking about it. And by mentally thinking, your desires are going to increase, which is again going to bind you. So therefore, without understanding what is action, what is inaction, when I either do action or withdraw from action, I either way get bound. Therefore, I need to gain proper knowledge about all this and then move further in my life. I have to begin to live my life. Hence, he continues to explain this. What is the connection between the self and action? So in 13, he already said that. He said that the fourfold caste was created by me according to the differentiation of guna, the gunas, the qualities, and action. Guna karma vibhagasha. Though I am its author, though I am its creator, know me to be the non-doer and immutable. Tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. Though I am its karta, means author, know that I am actually not the karta. I'm not the doer. And I'm immutable. So what he's saying here, I explained to you, it is not Mr. Krishna talking, it is Ishvara talking. Isn't it? When you go to your industry, which is your own industry, you may go with your son who may be working in your organization as a managing director and you are the chairman. You both may go to the office as father and son in the car. But once you reach the industry, thereafter you are the chairman and he is the managing director. So when you go and speak there, you're speaking as chairman, not as father. Similarly, Sri Krishna is not identifying with this personality, he is identifying with the divinity within and talking here as Ishvara. And he said, the whole world is the manifestation of that Maya, and Maya is Trigunatmika. So the whole world is also made up of three gunas, and the beings who have come from the three gunas, they all act according to their gunas. But I am actually Ishvara. Being Ishvara, I am beyond the action. Therefore, he said, in my presence, the Maya is manifested as this Sukshma Prapancha and Stula Prapancha. I have nothing to do with it. Maya would have not created it if I wasn't there. In that sense, you can say I am its author. In the sense, I am only Nimitta Karanam. And Maya is the Upadana Karanam. Is what he is explaining. Upadana Karana means material cause. Nimitta Karana means intelligent cause. The world, the gross world, which is made up of 5 gross elements, and the subtle world, which is made up of 5 subtle elements, all have come from this Maya. You understand? All of them have come from Maya, which is the material with which this world is made up of. So Maya is the material cause, and they are all insentient. When the intelligent cause, Ishvara, is reflected through the Maya, the jivas act according to their gunas. So, when a person acts according to their gunas, propel their action with certain motives, they will have karma. They will be bound. But I, as Ishvara, I have no doership. In my presence, this thing is happening. So, I am the non-doer. I am unchanging, immutable. Even though all these are happening, nothing happens to me. So we explained, there is a rope lying on the ground. You don't understand rope as a rope. You non-apprehend the rope and you misapprehend it as the snake. You projected a snake upon the rope. Does it do anything to the rope? Does rope get affected by the projection? Rope remains as rope. Nothing happens to rope. So, my presence was important in producing the snake. The rope may say that. In that sense, I am the author. My presence was important for the snake to be projected. There was no rope. How can the snake be projected? But I have nothing to do with it. The snake, the fear caused by the snake in everybody else, I have nothing to do with it. I am beyond doership. This he explains. Now, when we understand all this, we have to understand that we are also essentially that Ishvara. Ishvara and Jiva are one and the same. Jiva, Ishvara, Aikyam is there. So therefore, if I identify with that Ishvara, then these actions won't bind me. This is the knowledge Sri Krishna is giving. This is the Upanishadic knowledge given in the Gita. Now, let's continue with verse number 14. We have done up to 13, so let's go to 14.
न मां कर्माणि लिम्पन्ति न मे कर्मफले स्पृहा इति मां योऽभिजानाति कर्मभिर्न स बध्यते.
Namam karmani limpanti. Actions do not taint me. Namam, not me. Limpanti, taint. What? Karmani. Actions do not taint me. Name karma phale sprha. Nor have I a desire for the karma phala, the fruit of action, the result. Iti, thus, mam, yaha, abhijanati. Whoever knows, he who knows me thus, he who knows me thus, is not bound by actions. Karma bhi na sa bhadyate. Bhadyate means bound. Na badhyate means not bound. So, what he is saying here, actions do not taint me. What is happening at the superficial level doesn't taint me. See, when you go to watch a movie, on the screen, a conflagration of fire may be projected. There may be a scene in the movie where the entire village is on fire. So all the houses are on fire. That scene is being projected on the screen. The theater is air conditioned and they have put the temperature very low. People who are sitting and watching the movie are feeling cold already. But the scene that is projected is the whole village is on fire. You won't touch the. Will it be hot? Will the fire projected on the screen affect the screen? That's the question he's asking. That is the answer he's giving also. So what he's saying is, the fire scene is projected on me, but I am not tainted by the fire, says the screen. So actions do not taint me, nor I have a desire for the fruit of action. Oh, I must, make sure that all the houses are saved. People should not die. There is no involvement. There is no motive. There is no motive for Ishvara. You understand? And since there is no motive, there is no bondage. If you have motive, you will have bondage. And if you have this knowledge, then you will also not have motive. Then you will also not get bound. So why he is giving this knowledge? Because then you don't have to run away from action. You don't have to drop action forcefully. You can continue doing actions, but you will not get bound. This is what Sri Krishna is teaching. It's a very interesting portion in the Gita. That's why we say you don't have to leave anything, you continue doing whatever you are doing. How you can enhance the quality of your life. Wherever you are and whatever you are doing. And wherever you may be and whatever you may be doing in future. And this is what Gita does. Enhances the quality of your life. How? Through this knowledge. Through this knowledge it enhances. So he says, actions do not taint me, nor do I have any desire for the fruit of action. Will you have a desire for the fruit of action in this case? When you know that the whole thing is just a projected tamasha? If you are going to have a desire for the fruit of action, then you must attach undue importance to what is happening on the screen. Then only you will go. Why would you go? See, another example we usually give in the class is when you go to sleep and you go into dream. And in the dream, as a dreamer, you've done a lot of service to the humanity. And, can you see me? I think something happened to the screen. Can you see me? Hariom, can you all see me?
Yes, sir.
Did you lose my video in between?
No.
No. Okay. So, in the dream, you have done a lot of service to the humanity. Recognizing that they are giving you Padma Shri award. And on that day, you go there, everyone who's been selected for awards are all there, one by one, they're calling the names, and each one is being given the award. When your turn comes, they call your name, you're walking up to the stage, you're climbing the steps, you trip, you fall down, you woke up. Now that you've woken up, you know that the whole thing was a tamasha, drama. Now will you say, let me go and receive that award? Or you had announced a lot of benefits for people, but it had not reached many people, it has reached only few. And you come to know that, and you are about to go and make sure that everybody gets it. And in the meantime, you tripped and you woke up. Will you say, I will go into the dream and make sure everybody gets the benefit? You will not have motive. So that's what he's saying. There is no motive in Ishvara. I don't have any motive. And those who identify with the real I within, the Atma within, the self within, they will also have no motive. And there is no personal motive for them to achieve this or that. In the context, out of pure love and obligation, and as per their dharma, they go about executing their duty. That's all. So we discussed about gunas. The gunas determine whether you are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And also our life was divided into 4 stages: brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi. So based on all this, we are in a particular stage with a particular dharma, and accordingly we have a certain goal and role. According to that, we have obligation. Niyatam karma means obligatory duties. And obligatory duties may nitya karma, naimitika karma. These are two different, two branches in obligatory duty. Daily routine obligation, special obligation. Nitya karma, daily routine. Naimitika, special. So now, when I understand this knowledge, what will happen? I will not run away from action. I will do my niyatam karma, nitya karma and naimitika karma. Daily routine obligatory duties and special obligatory duties. With no personal motive. With pure love. With clear understanding. From the time I am born, I am constantly taking. I also have a role. If the wheel has to revolve, rotate, the dharma chakra has to rotate properly, everybody has to do their bit. You already said in the 3rd chapter, if you recollect, parasparam bhavayantaha. You offer to the devas. Devas will bless you. Thus, both of you can prosper. Parasparam bhavayantaha. I read an article many years ago in the newspaper about how important the tadpoles are. Nowadays, you don't see that much tadpoles. So, when the rain comes and water stagnates, the frog lays eggs, and then the tadpoles come, a lot of frogs come from there, and then they eat up all the eggs laid by the mosquitoes. Now, when that doesn't happen, these eggs laid by the mosquitoes in the freshly stagnant water creates dengue and all that kind of disease. So now, how much we owe to the tadpoles, our existence. So you have a certain dharma as a brahmachari, student, as a grahastha, married person, as a vanaprastha, as a sannyasi, as a brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra. Everybody has a role to play. And what is in it for me? The moment I get that motive, then comes the bondage. When I understand this whole picture, the connection between the self and action, I function without any motive. That's what he said. I have no desire. Ishvara has no desire in the fruit of action. But for every action, there will be fruit. Please understand that. While doing the action, there is no interest in the fruit of action. If you do it with motive, it will bring the result at the external level, and also it will bring the punya and papa, the unseen results. And that punya and papa only binds you. They are only forming as impressions in the vasanas. In yesterday's class, Tattva Bodha, we studied this. And these vasanas are the cause for us to take birth again and again. So, therefore, if I understand all this that I discussed till now, if you understand all this that I discussed till now, Sri Krishna is saying here, you will also not identify with the gunas, you will identify with the Atma, which is a non-doer. And you will also not have motive, and you will also not be bound. He who knows me thus, that's the meaning for it. You may have no motive. You are not bound by it. How does it matter to me? If you ask a question, he says, no, knowing it, what happens? It is directly going to benefit you. It is not that I'm talking about something which has no connection to your life. I'm talking about something that has deeper connection to your life. Just this understanding and implementing that understanding brings about the freedom instantly. That's what he's saying. That very moment onwards, you become free. Suddenly you feel that so much of weight that you were carrying is removed from your shoulders. You feel very light. Just this understanding makes all the difference. So he says, he who knows me thus is not bound by actions. It will not create any impressions. No more vasanas. No more punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Birth, death, all these routine things, he is free. He continues. Verse 15.
एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वतरं कृतम्.
Having known thus, action was performed even by the ancient seekers of liberation. So in the past, see, he not only gave logic, he is now appealing to Arjuna's emotions. People whom he looks up to, they also did the same thing. See, we always, this weakness is there in human beings. I would like to follow somebody else's path. I'm afraid of being the first person. If there are people who have already traveled in that path, I don't mind going. So, nobody wants to travel, lay down their own path and travel in it. Everybody wants to travel in a safe path. There are people who have already gone. So maybe jayenge. So, therefore, Sri Krishna says, people in the past, who were the people? Those who sought liberation, mumukshu, those who had desire to become free, those who wanted to be liberated, ancient seekers in the past, they had also performed action. Same thing he already said in the 3rd chapter. People like King Janaka and all, they did that. He's giving the same explanation, thorough explanation. So he's saying, people in the past, those who wanted to be liberated and be free, they also performed action. How? Underlined by knowledge. They did not perform mechanical actions. What extricates you from the bondage that happens through action is the knowledge. If your action is purified by the knowledge, you become purified from its effect, the bondage. If not, you will be involved, you will have motive, and you will be caught. So, from this, we also understand that what? You are, out of your foolishness, getting bound. So, you will have to gain the knowledge and become free. Nobody is binding you. You bound yourself. There's no one sitting and binding you. If that is the case, they have to come and release you. If you out of your foolishness are bound, only you have to come out of it by gaining the knowledge. That's all he said. So having known thus. So having known thus, they do the action. So first you gain the knowledge, then do the action. Same thing Thiruvalluvar says in Tamil. Enni thuniga karumam, tuninda pin ennuvam என்பது இழுக்கு. Gain the knowledge and then do the action. Why are you in a hurry to do the action? Nobody gains the knowledge, simply wants to get into action. Their knowledge is all different knowledge. They know, oh, in this country, these resources are there. In that country, these resources are there. This you have studied in school. When you go for that resource, do you know this knowledge, what he's talking about? Otherwise, you will be stressed and strained in living. So that's why we say that knowledge, scholastic knowledge, this knowledge, spiritual knowledge, you can call that as secular knowledge, this is spiritual knowledge. Both you should have. And you have both, then you excel in life. Otherwise, you don't excel. You may be successful, but you don't excel. So that's why he's saying, by the ancient seekers of liberation, they knew this knowledge. So what do you have to do? First, you have to consolidate this knowledge. You have to soak yourself in this knowledge. You have to make this knowledge your own. Now, this knowledge you've got from the book. But when you do reflection on this knowledge again and again and spend more time with it, this knowledge will sink in and it will become your own. With that knowledge, when you live in the world, you will not have any motive. Your actions won't be propelled by desires. Your actions will not be result oriented. Your actions will be an expression of dharma, love, obligation, gratitude. That would be the backing force, not the desire. Hence, you don't get bound. So he says, first gain the knowledge, having known. Having known thus, action was performed even by the ancient seekers. Gaining the knowledge about the self and its relationship with the action, then they went about doing the action. The knowledge of the self and its relationship to the action is not known in today's context. Therefore, you find there is a lot of prosperity, maybe, but no peace. That's the problem. With this, both prosperity and peace will be there. So therefore he says, having known thus, then you add that then action was performed. Even by the ancient seekers, just to motivate Arjuna, even they did that, man, you also do that, please. Because Arjuna wanted to stop the action. Shri Krishna is saying, no, they did the action. Therefore, you also perform action. Kuru karma, karma eva. Tasmat tvam purvai purvataram kritam. Tasmat kuru karma eva tvam, you. Tasmat tvam kuru karma eva. Therefore, you do action alone. Underlined by knowledge. With this wisdom. That is called objectivity in action. Not getting involved. Purvai purvataram kritam. How, like how the ancient people did in the olden times. So, the field of activity, many things may change, but the approach to action should be the same. You understand? Those days they might have played 5 days test cricket with 1 day rest in between. Then that rest was removed. Now they have 5 day test cricket, but no rest in between. Then came 1 day cricket with 60 overs each, with a break in between. Then they made it to 50 overs each, with only just one lunch break in between. And then they brought T20. These things can keep changing. That is what is going to happen in the world. But this knowledge, what is called as Sanatana Dharma, eternal wisdom, that remains the same. This technique that the Gita teaches is the same. It is about the knowledge of the self and its relationship to the action. The field may be different. Earlier they were playing in 5 day test match. Now it may be T20. Tomorrow I don't know what's going to come. It may come to 10 overs each. Many things can happen. That's in cricket. Like that in everything. Artificial intelligence has come. Those things will change. But human beings should have this knowledge, be established in this knowledge, and then act in that respective field with the intelligence you gain in that field. Then you will continue. Beautifully progressing with peace. That's what he says. Therefore, tasmat, you also perform action as the ancients did in the olden times. When you do the action with knowledge, you don't get bound. When you do the action without this knowledge, you get bound. What about if I withdraw inaction? And inaction also has a deeper meaning. What about that? All that is going to explain. And while doing the action, are there any actions that one should avoid? Or one can do any action? That he analyzes. And he explains that in 16, 17, and in 18 he gives the real shloka, where it goes into the depth. And understanding that 18th shloka is crucial. Understanding it and putting it into practice is what is going to give you that freedom. So he's slowly building the thought towards that. So he says, if you want to emulate people of the past, they never got away from action. They plunged into action, but protected by knowledge. In today's context, people either run away from action or they plunge into action without the protection of the knowledge. Both are dangerous. Hence, he says, gain the knowledge about the Atma and its relationship with the action, then get into it. Next shloka.
किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्
Kim karma. What is action? Kim akarma. What is inaction? Iti, the about it. Kavayaha api. Yatra. Kavayaha api. Atra. Mohitaha. Here in this world, even Kavayaha. Kavihi means seer, intelligent person. One who's got deeper knowledge about the Shastras. Even they are deluded, he says. Even the wise are deluded here in this world as to what is action and what is inaction. Tasmat. Therefore, you have to what? I gain this knowledge. I will teach that. I shall teach you action, knowing which you will be liberated from evil. People are confused about action and inaction because people, the do's and don'ts. What do? They refer to the Vedas or some text, what they believe as higher authority. And all that is said in the Vedas as action should be done. All that was classified as inaction should not be done. People have this kind of what should be done, what should not be done in their own way. What is the guideline for it? Huh? So what is the authority? What is the guideline for it? Even intelligent people are confused. See, in Ramayana, Vali Vada is there. Lord Rama killed Vali. Hiding behind the tree, he shot the arrow and killed Vali. It's a very highly controversial area in Ramayana. A lot of debates are there on this. Oh, what is this? What did Ram do? What Ram? He killed Vali hiding behind the tree. Is it correct or not? A lot of discussions goes on. A lot of people say correct, a lot of people say wrong, etc., etc. In fact, Vali is arguing with Lord Ram. Why did you kill me hiding behind? Why did you shoot this arrow hiding behind the tree? You could have told me. I would have gone and brought that Ravana, begging. I would have brought back Sita Ma. Instead of that, you shot the arrow from behind, hiding behind the tree. Goes on arguing. Lord Ram just gives one answer. First of all, he doesn't give answer. When Mali is asking, oh, you are expecting answer from me? Okay. The answer is, I shot the arrow because you took away Sugriva's wife without her willingness. She is not an object, she is a being. You deserve to be killed. I killed you. Finished. Period. Hiding behind either se aaya, udhar se aaya. No explanation, nothing. So you should have that clarity. You go and see that Hamlet play. Hamlet's father was killed by his own uncle, father's brother. And within few days after the father was murdered, the uncle marries his mother. And Hamlet is getting doubt that it could all be done by my uncle only. And he almost comes to conclusion with certain data. And he wants to kill him. and he goes to kill his uncle. At the time, his uncle is in the prayer room or something like that. I forgot the context. I think in the prayer room. He thinks, if I kill him now, he'll go to heaven. Like this, everybody, I'm only giving all this from different places, Ramayana, Hamlet, and all that, to say how people are confused about what is action and what is inaction. They see certain things as inaction. So you need to have clearer understanding about action and inaction. You have a thorough understanding and thinking about all this before plunging into action. Otherwise, you'll be confused. So therefore, he says, even the wise people, intelligent people who have been studying the scriptures, who've got a deeper penetration into the scriptural injunctions, they themselves are confused, deluded. What is action? What is inaction? Therefore, I shall teach you action. I shall explain to you clearly about this, knowing which you will be liberated from evil. You will be liberated from evil from the Vedantic point of view means bondage, Vasanas. You will be liberated from living life through which creating more impressions, which is the bondage, which is actually the evil, because it keeps you away from yourself. See, take the mundane example. When you don't let a person be himself or herself, that is naraka. A person's nature is there. The person should be according to his or her nature. If he's forced to be something else, it's naraka. So with all kinds of conditionings about these things, with so many do's and don'ts, rights and wrongs, there is so much of confusion and delusion in the society. And therefore they are bound. They don't do what they ought to do, and they do what they ought not to do. And Arjuna is also confused about this. What was Arjuna's argument? Answer to that is given here. In the first chapter, Arjuna's argument is killing these people. Who these? Bhishma, Drona, all these people who are good people, I will incur sin. So if I do that action, if I fight the battle and kill them, I will incur sin. So this action is forbidden action, according to him. Therefore, I should refrain from doing this forbidden action. This is what he's thinking. And Sri Krishna is going to explain in this context here, in these shlokas, that when you do this action, you will not incur sin, because this is first of all not an action at all. Meaning, it is not an action that will create karma at all, first of all. You will not create karmic cycle. When you do an action and it creates the karmic cycle, that is action. When you do an action which doesn't create karmic cycle, it is inaction. There is another kind of inaction where you don't do, yet it creates karmic cycle. That is also action. This is what he's explaining in this portion. That's why this is a beautiful portion. It's a very important portion. All of us must understand. So therefore he says, I shall teach you this in detail, knowing which you will be liberated from evil. Because you'll be liberated from the confusion, from the delusion, and you will do the right thing in the right way. Like when you do that like that, then you will not have any impressions created. When you are not creating any impressions, no more bondage. That's all he's saying. Therefore, you will be free from evil. Oh, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.